Good morning, everybody. It's Chris here from Serene Education with the 4 majors notice update for the 19th of September 2011. Hi guys, I'm going to go over the 4 majors this morning, starting with the euro against US dollar on our daily. Well. Indecision, price failed to break above the 13,900 mark, consolidated above this area here, which was in actual fact a 61.8 fib retracement, and failed to materialize from that. We had this almost this bearish Arami type formation at the top end of a pullback, and then woke up this morning and price has fallen, gapped lower over the Sunday evening open. Asian market trading slightly higher in the pullback, however trading the downside of the wick going into the European session open. So CTC is negative to the downside. You can see that our 4-hour hourly all showing negativity on this pair, even our small time from 30 minutes, 15 and 5. You can see now we're consolidating on our 15 minute, for example. We're definitely seeing a consolidation bar here, as you can see, box. So the gap lower after the breakout, swing highs, and then being squeezed, price being squeezed between 2 points. Whether you've gone for the highs, swing low, squeeze, breakout below all the moving averages, and then it pulled back, and then price has kind of stagnated now, and you can see this little area here, swing low. We should be seeing price actually doing something soon. Good chance we might see, if price can break above the 1367 mark and head higher, then we could see ultimately the major downtrend for the intraday chart here. If I just get it up and running for you so you guys can see, so this line over here, or possibly the breakout sitting here above the 13,700 being tested first before we go into the 50-minute period moving average. But ultimately you could see the gap being filled if we break and if we see price finding support at this level here and pushing higher, 13,700 as a potential. But we need the CTC, see the CTC going blue, etc., and that's on our small time frames is just not happening. 5 minutes in particular, you can see price just moving sideways. Clear resistance at 1364, support, and resistance level just above it at the 1367. So in this consolidation range at the moment, need to see a break either side to see a definite trade. So consolidating, break higher than 1367, could see potentially the area here, roughly the 13,700 being retested. Ultimately the institutional moving average at 13,700 being a potential target. Or break lower than 1364 would definitely see the downside bearish side occurring. Notice CTC on our side is still looking bearish even though we are consolidating and we are trading in a negative trend. So all we want is a confirmation break lower to give us another signal to the downside, because we're looking for shorting opportunities. Keep it simple. Okay, break above 13,700, 13, oh blast, I forgot now, 1367, then look at 13,700 as a first potential target. Next pair up is sterling against US dollar. Okay, so here again, like its European counterpart, a lot of selling happening on the daily here. Very bearish indeed. See price direction really swinging low as we've gone in. Then we saw a bit of indecision, support here just above the 1576, 77 mark. Indecision, spinning top, larger spinning top, almost like a bullish engulfing, then followed by another spinning top, and then we saw price falling straight through, opening lower this morning. And Asian market session, you can see prices and the European session open has seen price reverting slightly higher. Are we going to see that gap being closed now during this morning session before we see an extension later on the US session? That remains to be seen, but CTC is well extended to the downside. If you look at our 4 hour, for example, you can see the consolidation, a lot of support on Our 4-hour time frame here at the 157500 mark, a lot of support, hammers, dirty spinning tops, bullish engulfings at this level here. I saw price reverting higher. That failed to materialize. Then we had a lot of shooting stars, a lot of wicks to the upside. Price action at the bottom end of the wicks, confirming a bit of indecision, more of a bearish sentiment, and then sure enough, we saw price gap lower. You can see quite clearly that the 20-period moving average are helping, or really dictating price action or trend direction on this pair, and you can see price has been forwarding steadily ever since. Trend line is in play now, or thereabouts. Are we going to see price just moving sideways now to this area here, consolidating, or are we going to see a push lower? CTC on this time frame is well extended, moving average all above, and the CTC has been working out quite well on the 4-hour. Hourly, exactly the same thing. Look at that. We saw gap down. Now we have hourly charts showing us 2 indecision candles, spinning tops. So we want decision. We want a decisive move now after this. So let's wait for it. Bide our time. You could see a lot of consolidation happening. You can see our 15-minute, for example. Clear support at what area we got here? 15, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we've got 15, 695 is our support area. Hammer. Indecision at the price. Are we going to see a support being found at this area here, and then we see a potential bounce higher to fill the gap? Could we see price reverting to at least the 1570.50 mark? Here back up to the 20-period moving average. If that was the case, what are we looking at here? We're looking at potentially, yeah, the 50%, 61.8, yeah, retracement area. So let's have a look. Ideally wanted to break below 1568, yeah, 1568.5 to see further shorting opportunities. You don't want to be caught in all this indecision here on the small time frame. So bide your time, rather box it. Say great, you guys can have that. I don't want to trade that. I want to see a clear break above to see if potentially the 50-period moving average in our 5 minutes being retested, or I want to see a break lower than that 1568.50 to see further downside movement, because the CTC is still looking favorable for shorts. Red, everything's in our favor on all 6 time frames for this pair. Okay, on to the US dollar Swiss franc. Good old Swissy. Daily, after the intervention, well, we saw the Swiss franc picking its currency. We saw a massive upside move after a lot of negativity in this pair over a long period of time. Price has now subsequently broken through that major downtrend and has been making higher highs as the days have gone on. What we've seen lately is the institutional moving average coming into play now, and that's roughly around the 89.50 mark. Shooting star, indecision, bearish engulfing, and we saw a slight pullback on price action. That didn't follow right through. We didn't see anything in particular being retested. We saw consolidation above a prior resistance level here at the 86.50 mark in particular, and we've seen a bounce higher. And now we're seeing price reattempting this institutional moving average this morning. And if we can close above the 89.50 mark going into the latter part of this week, then we're definitely going to see a continuation higher, as price is now giving us a clear signal. CTC is giving us a clear signal that we should be looking for bullish upside movement. Are we getting the same picture intraday? Yes. 5 minutes is long, 50-minute long, 30-minute long, hourly long, and 4 hours. So every time frame is looking bullish at the moment. We know on the 4 hour or the daily that we are testing prior the institutional moving average. So ideally, if you want to just get a definite confirmation, then ideally if we can get price above the 89.50, long-term trading is definitely back on again for further upside movement gains. Hourly, CTC is in our favor, institutional moving average, all the moving averages are below price now. We have seen a break of this consolidation downside, swing low, swing low, swing low, consolidating against the major downside, and then a punch higher this morning, and we saw a pullback, quite a drastic one, filling the gap, and then prices move slightly higher. However, we have a ceiling level at price trading now at the 88.30 mark. Need to see it break higher than that But ideally you want to be trading, if anything, above the 89.50. If you can get above that, then it's trading above all this noise, this consolidation noise, and then we should be looking for further upside for the remainder of this week. Moving on to the last pair of the day, the US dollar, Japanese yen, and we saw on the daily prices kind of hugging the 76.50 mark for a long period of time. Then we had Swiss franc pegging its currency and the US dollar rallying on that news against the Japanese yen. That kind of faded out. It just hit a prior resistance level here, just around about the 77.70 mark. Ceiling level, another ceiling, literally a whole week of resistance at this level. Indecision, spinning top, decision candle, bearish engulfed the entire 3 days prior to that, and we saw price reverting to the downside and reattempting the 76.50. We are seeing price pulling slightly back to the upside, but you'll notice that price action is happening at the bottom end of the wicks, not very convincing upside movement or consolidation. Nonetheless, we are still consolidating in this range. You also know that 7700 happened to be a price healing level at this level. So you see price hasn't broken above this area and closed higher over the last couple of days. Failure to see that again, we'll see a revert to the downside and the 76.50 being reattempted quite soon. So we are in a consolidation range within a consolidation range. It makes sense. 50 period moving average above us, still trading below all the moving average, and the CTC is still extended lower. We are still trading in a downside correlation consolidation pattern at the moment. So intraday we should see the same thing panning out. A lot of iffiness, breakup. If you look at our 30-minute, for example, showing we are getting swing highs depicting higher movement, but we are now heading towards the 7700 mark, which happens to be a price support and resistance level. Notice that a lot of hesitation at this level. Price hasn't traded above this over the past 4 or 5 days. Price needs to be above that area in order to see further attempts at the 77.70 or higher. Break above 700 on our 30-minute. We'll look at the 77.35 as our next potential target, ideally, and then a break above that would see us kick towards the higher part of the trading range around about the 77.80. So target 1, if we see a breach of 700, is target 1 is 77.35, and target 2 would be 77.80 on 30 minutes. You can see going into this area here, very indecisive compared to what it was before, very decisive, swinging low, price moving below price, all the moving averages, so we saw negativity, but we have now reattempted the 76.50, which happened to be long-term support and resistance. On this particular pair, we've seen a bounce, and we're seeing consolidation to the upside in this bounce. But consolidating, 77, as I mentioned, is still there. Got to be trading above that in order to see further upside movement. Failure to do so would see a revert to the downside, and potentially the 76.50 being reattempted in the next couple of days or so. So consolidating, what we want to see is a definite break higher than 7700 and close to give us a potential upside movement. It's trading above all the moving averages, or in particular the institutional, which is good. But if we don't get to see that, then we could see revert to the downside and another continuation of this consolidation band between 76.50 and 7700. That's it, guys. Hope you have a fantastic start to the day. We have seen some moves overnight. Let's see if we're going to see a continuation of those moves during the course of this week. Please have a look at your news to see if there's anything that's definitely going to be moving price today. Very quiet Japanese bank holiday all day. Nothing pretty much else across the board happening. So have a look and see what else is happening this week to give you an indication of what's likely to occur or what could really move the market, and then just bide your time. Otherwise, have a fantastic Monday. Keep your trading simple, follow the rules, and back it up with solid money management, and most importantly, trade serenely.